The Boulton Defiant is a British interceptor aircraft that served with the Royal Air Force during World War II. The Defiant was designed and built by Boulton Aircraft as a turret fighter to meet the RAF requirement for day and night fighters that could concentrate their firepower on enemy bombers, which were not expected to have fighter escorts due to the distance from Germany to the United Kingdom. The Defiant had all its armament in a dorsal turret, offering the ability to fire in most directions. The same principle was used in the Royal Navy's Blackburn Rock, which was also built by Boulton. In combat, the Defiant was found to be effective at destroying bombers, the role it was designed for, but was vulnerable to the Luftwaffe's more maneuverable single-seat Messerschmitt Bf 109 fighters operating from bases in northern France. The Defiant had been designed to destroy UNESCO-corded bombers by means of beam or ventral attacks and therefore lacked forward-firing armament, which proved to be a great weakness in daylight combat with fighters. It was withdrawn from daytime operations for use as a night fighter and found success in combination with the use of airborne radar to locate the enemy. It eventually equipped 13 squadrons in this role, compared to just 2 squadrons as a day fighter, though this was mainly due to slow initial production. Mid-1942, it was replaced by better-performing night fighters, the Bristol Beaufighter and de Havilland Mosquito. The Defiant continued to find use in gunnery training, target towing, electronic countermeasures, and air-sea rescue. Among RAF pilots, it had the nickname Daffy. The Defiant was a single-engine interceptor aircraft. It used a monoplane structure, which was coupled with main landing gear which retracted into a broad main plane section. The pilot's cockpit and rear turret were faired into a streamlined upper fuselage section. Tankage for up to 470 liters of fuel was housed within the wing center section along with a large ventral radiator that completed the resemblance to the Hawker fighter. The center section employed a 2-spar arrangement, and the wing itself had removable wingtips. The rear fuselage comprised two metal cones connected by a 2-foot transitional section, and a flat upper deck. The Defiant employed an all-metal stressed skin monocoque structure. The fuselage was built in sections that were subsequently bolted together, a manufacturing method previously used on other Boulton-designed aircraft, which they thought made the riveting process easier. It was a relatively clean design and made use of a simple, weight-saving structure. The principal armament of the aircraft is its powered dorsal turret, equipped with 7.7 mm Browning machine guns. The fuselage was fitted with aerodynamic fairings that helped mitigate the drag of the turret. They were pneumatically powered and automatically raised and lowered into the fuselage so that the turret could rotate freely. The Brownings were electrically fired, and insulated cutoff points in the turret ring prevented the guns firing when they were pointing at the propeller disc or tailplane. The gunner could rotate the turret directly forward and transfer firing control of the guns to the pilot, with the guns firing along each side of the cockpit canopy. This was rarely done as the turret's minimum forward elevation was 19 and the pilot did not have a gun sight. The gunner operated the turret through a control column with the firing button on the top. The motor could be put in high-speed mode for swift changes of direction, and there was a handle for manual rotation of the turret. The gunner's hatch was in the rear of the turret, which had to be rotated to the side for entry and exit. There was not enough room in the turret for the gunner to wear a seat type or backpack parachute. The parachute was stowed alongside the gunner instead. This made escape from the aircraft so difficult that gunners were later provided with a special all-in-one garment, a parachute, nicknamed the Rhino suit. On the 12th of May 1940, The first operational sortie occurred as a flight of 6 Defiants flew with 6 Spitfires of 66 Squadron over the English Channel to the coastline, in the vicinity of The Hague, Netherlands. During this flight, a single Ju-88, which had been in the process of attacking a destroyer, was shot down. The following day, in a patrol that was a repetition of the first, Defiance claimed for Juncker's Ju-87 Stuka dive bombers, but were subsequently attacked by a flight of Bf-109Es. The escorting Spitfires were unable to prevent 5 of the 6 Defiants from being shot down by a frontal attack. During the evacuation of the British Expeditionary Force from Dunkirk, the squadron was based at RAF Manston, as one of the 16 squadrons that No. 11 Group had for the evacuation. On the 27th of May, to 64 Squadron claimed 3 He-111 and damaged. On the 28th of May, shortly after takeoff, 10 Defiants were attacked by about 30 Bf-109s. Forming a circle, they claimed 6 German fighters for the loss of 3 Defiants. The Defiant was initially successful against enemy aircraft, and its best day was the 29th of May, when No. 260 for Squadron claimed 37 kills in 2 sorties, 19 Ju-87 Stukas, mostly picked off as they came out of their dives. 9 Messerschmitt Bf-110 twin-engined heavy fighters, 8 Bf-109s, and a Ju-88. 1 Defiant gunner was lost after he bailed out, but the pilot managed to fly the aircraft back to its base and it was subsequently repaired. On the 31st of May, -1 Defiants were lost in one day as Hurricanes and Spitfires failed to come to their aid in a battle with Bf-109s. Luftwaffe fighters suffered losses when bouncing flights of Defiants from the rear, apparently mistaking them for Hurricanes. 35 The German pilots were unaware of the Defiant's rear-firing armament and encountered concentrated defensive fire. The Luftwaffe changed tactics to outmaneuver the Defiant and attack from below or dead ahead, where the turret guns offered no defense. Defiant losses quickly mounted, particularly among the gunners, who were often unable to leave stricken aircraft. The additional weight of the turret and the second crewman plus the aerodynamic drag gave the Defiant a lower performance than conventional single-seat fighter aircraft. 260 for Squadron developed a counter against single-seat aircraft, such as the Bf-109, by flying in an ever-descending Lufbery circle. Defiant crews sacrificed the advantage of height, but eliminated the possibility of attack from underneath, while giving 360 degrees of defensive fire. 260 for Squadron claimed 48 kills in 8 days over Dunkirk. The cost was high with 14 Defiants lost. Actual German losses were no more than 12 to 15 enemy aircraft. The turret's wide angle of fire meant that several Defiants could engage the same target at one time, leading to multiple claims. On the 22nd of August, in response to an urgent demand for aircraft to defend Britain's airspace, 260 for Squadron relocated to RAF Hornchurch, Essex, while also using RAF Manston as a forward base. On the 24th of August, -1 Defiants of 264 scrambled from Manston to engage an incoming German force. In the ensuing engagement, 3 Ju-88s and a single Bf-109E were shot down for the loss of 2 Defiants. Later that same day, another cluster of bombers appeared and were engaged by 7 Defiants that had been in the process of refueling. 3 Ju-88s and Bf-109Es were downed while 1 Defiant was in turn downed along with another, damaged. On the 26th of August, to 60 for Squadron engaged a formation of 12 Dornier Du-17 bombers over northeastern Kent, but was attacked by a large formation of Bf-109s. 3 aircraft were lost, but 6 Do-17s, and ABF 109 were shot down. 3 of those victories were awarded to one Defiant, crewed by Flight Sergeants E.R. Thorne Pilot and F.J. Barker Air Gunner. They shot down to Do-17s, but were then engaged by ABF 109, which set their Defiant on fire. They managed to shoot down the German fighter before making a forced landing. For this, they were awarded a bar to the Distinguished Flying Medal. The squadron lost a further 5 aircraft to JG-26 on the 28th of August, with 9 crew killed, and effectively ended operations, withdrawing to RAF Duxford the following day. With these losses, the Defiant, which had been intended from the start as a day and night fighter, was transferred to night operations instead. The type had proven unsuited to the demands of the day fighter when set against the likes of the Bf-109E, and was less capable than other RAF aircraft such as the Hurricane and the Spitfire. By the 31st of August, over half the delivered Defiants had been shot down by Luftwaffe aircraft, a rate that was deemed to be unacceptable. The Defiant's kill ratio was better than is commonly thought. In 20 days of frontline service in the Battle of Britain in July and August, 141 and 260 for squadron shot down 25 German aircraft for the loss of 17 Defiants. Defiant night fighters typically attacked enemy bombers from below, in a similar maneuver to the later German Schrig-Musick method. Defiants attacked more often from slightly ahead or to one side, rather than from directly under the tail. That's all for today. Until next time, goodbye.